When I started my homestead, I made decisions that seemed right at the time. But years later, I can see exactly where I went wrong. These are the 5 biggest things that I would change if I could start all over again. Hopefully by the end of this video, I will have saved you years of frustration and maybe a couple $1,000s. So let's get to it. So the first thing on my list is animal placement. I decided to go with what a lot of people were saying, and they were saying I need to put the animals close to the house. Now, while those intentions may have been well, I think it still depends on your property and how it's laid out as to whether or not that is the right spot. For me, it was not. Right close to the house, which is very good for convenience, but it's not always good for expansion. And I have outgrown the area that I initially put my animals in. This poses a problem because I've put 4 years of work into that area, and now it's kind of lost its value. So I can't use that space anymore, and I have to build another space. As you can see, I got all my turkeys in with my chickens. That's not a horrible thing, but they just don't have enough room in there. I got all my roosters together, and that's fine and dandy, but it's a small space for them as well. Same with my rabbits. I kind of have them, 2 or 3 to a cage. It's just too many. They don't mind it, but I would like a more orderly way of keeping my animals. So that's why I'm building a whole new area for all of my animals 4 years later, and probably wasted a couple $1,000s on that one. For me, I think the most important part about planning for where you are going to have your animals is to plan for expansion, because chicken math is real. Number 2 on my list, don't think small, think big. I have my gardens spread out all across the place because I thought small. I started off with a 20 by 20 garden, whereas, hey, if I would have built a, let's say 40 by 40 or 50 by 100 or something, bigger, I didn't have to plant in all of it right away. I could just grow in part of it and still had the area, set up. Now I got gardens in 3 different places, and it definitely makes it less convenient when planning out my gardens and maintaining them as well. If you have 3 different gardens, then that means that you got 3 different areas that you got to maintain versus one area. Even if it's larger, it's still a lot easier. Also, on that same note, is when I first started off with my chickens, which is the first animals that I got here on the homestead, I built this little coop, and I thought it looked good, and it did look good, but I grew out of that in about a year. I probably grew out of it earlier than a year, but I didn't replace it until about a year. So the chicken coop that I'm on right now is coop number 2. And since I'm going to be building the whole new area, I'm going to be on chicken coop number 3 really soon. So definitely don't undersell the scope of what you could potentially be in one, at one day. You should plan for expansion. Think bigger, not smaller. And having said that, that doesn't mean that you have to go all out at the beginning. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is that if you have a vision of you wanting to grow into something, you want to get goats, you want to get other types of animals, you want to get cattle, you want to plan for that up front. put that in your plan. Don't just, I'm starting a homestead and hey, you know, I'm gonna get some chickens. And that's what I did. I said, hey, I'm gonna get some chickens and I'm gonna have some gardens. And then it's like, oh shoot, turkeys. Let me think about getting turkeys, you know? And then it's, oh, let me try to do meat birds, you know? And so I'm adding on as I go, which is fine, but I needed to sit down and have that conversation with myself as to where I really wanted this to go. And if I could talk to the 4-year ago me, oh man, that would be one of the first things that I tell them is you got to think about the future. You don't have to rush into the future, but you got to plan for it. Be sure to stick around for number 5, because for me, number 5 probably could have been number 1. Number 3, fencing, fencing, and fencing. If I had to do all over again, the first piece of infrastructure that I would focus on would be fencing. I would sit down with myself and do that little plan that I was talking about in tip number 2. And I would realize that, hey, I may need to split this property up, or I may need to, build some fencing to hold in some livestock or whatnot. And I would do that from day one, knowing what I know now. So what do I know now? Fencing prices has almost doubled. So if I had put up fencing 4 years ago, I would probably save $2,000-$3,000 in fencing, okay? So definitely think about infrastructure first. What you're gonna build, where you're gonna build it. Obviously plans change. So I'm not saying, you know, to rope yourself into a particular plan and have to stick to it. But what I am saying is you got to plan for it. You got to look at the amount of property you have and make a plan that you use at least 80% of that property, you know? And that will be a big enough plan that you don't underplan. Because, hey, if you underplan, you always end up, you know, trying to play catch up later on. And it's a struggle, you know, and I'm playing catch up right now. And so I'm not ashamed to say that. I'm sure there's a lot of homesteaders that are doing the same thing. Also, hey, if you're a homesteader out there and you run into these issues or you got a different list, comment below, share it. Let's get it going in the comment section on this video, because this video is very, very important to the new homesteader and even to the homesteader that's been homesteading for a while, that is struggling but can't figure out why. These 5 reasons are a big why for me. Number 4, storage. Storage should probably be number 1. But I had to put it somewhere. You got to think about storage. If you're running a homestead, you got a homestead, you're gonna have more stuff than you could possibly imagine when you first start out, okay? You need a place to store your feed. You need a place to store supplies. You need a place to store tools, a dry place to store your hay, shavings, you name it. You need storage. And when you think that you've built big enough storage, build it twice as big because you cannot have enough storage. You need places to park your equipment. You know, I only have a zero-turn, a bad boy zero-turn mower, and I have a trailer, and I have a dump trailer, and I have a regular trailer, and that's really pretty much it. You know, I don't have a tractor or a side-by-side or a four-wheeler or something like that. But you still got to think out where you're gonna park that kind of stuff. I'm kind of makeshift with it. You know, I park it here sometimes, I park it there sometimes, and that's not the way to do it. This spot behind me right here, I should have cleared it out when I first moved to this property. it's grown up now since then. You know, it's pretty grown up. So now, not only is it going to be harder for me to clear, I've wasted 4 years of utilizing this space because nothing's here. Well, the previous owner had some junk there, so I got to clear the junk out too. But this whole area right here, I was looking at it the other day. See if y'all can see in there. This whole area would be perfect for like a lean-to storage area, or maybe even an enclosed, area where I could park stuff at and have tools and supplies and whatnot. The shed that's up behind my house is a type of shed, it's a 4x8, and I thought I was doing something when I built it. And I do love the shed, I do love it, but 4x8 ain't enough. It's not enough, okay? But maybe a 4x4 shed near your animals, a 4x4 shed near your garden, a 4x4 shed or a 4x8 shed, whatever size, placed around your homestead would come in extremely handy, because you could store stuff for that particular part of your homestead in that smaller shed, if you're going to go with smaller shed, but I'm thinking along the lines of, I want to keep feed next to the animals. I want to keep, garden tools near the garden and stuff like that. So storage, I'm gonna be honest, I did not think about storage when I started my homestead, and I pay for it now. So learn from me and plan out your storage as soon as you get on that property. All right, number 5. And I think number 5 could possibly be the most important, and that is do not rush. Do not rush. So if I could talk to 4-year-ago me, I would sit them down and I would say, look, take your time. Take your time. On day 1, everybody wants to be at year 5. You're seeing what everybody else got out there, and you want to be like that. And I will tell you, I fell into the trap. I wanted everything today, instant gratification, right? And I would definitely tell 4-year-ago me to slow down. It's gonna come. Don't worry about it. Daily progress is progress. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday, okay? Don't sit out here and try to jump to year 5 on day 1. That's exactly what I would sit myself down and tell them. I would tell them to enjoy the process. Just have fun with it. Don't overthink it, but plan things out, Don't accept things that you aren't ready for. Don't think that, hey, I'm getting a good deal on this, I got to jump on it. And, you're going to feel that. You're going to feel the pressure of that because you think that deal won't come back around. Well, I'm here to tell you that 4 years into this, that deal will come back around, okay? Things tend to repeat themselves in the homestead world, okay? So just know that, hey, that deal that you passed on, there may be something better waiting for you because you waited and you did it the right way, okay? I would definitely tell myself to not cut corners. Don't try to rush things because you think that you have to. Take your time, do it right. Hey, if I'm not gonna have such and such done by such and such time, and I don't meet the deadline or whatever so that I could do it, what I wanted to do this year, hey, I guess I'm waiting until next year. But by the time next year gets here, I'll be ready, and that's the mindset that you have to have. You got to be able to tell people no, and even more important, you got to be able to tell yourself no, because you the boss, okay? You the boss, and you got to be able to tell the boss no sometimes. So my number 5 is definitely my number 1. Slow down. Don't rush through the process, because before you know it, you're going to be here 4 years later, and you don't even remember how this property used to look because you've done so much work. And that's a great thing. It's amazing. It's a blessing. But how much money have I wasted from rushing? You know, how much time have I wasted? I got to do a lot of work to take care of my animals. You know, to move them to their new area and whatnot. I got to spend a lot of money on that. You know, and so would it have been a lot of money up front? It would have seemed like it, but man, I would have saved probably thousands of dollars. You know, doing it back in 2021 versus doing it in 2025. So, yeah, that's my 5. Hey, let's get busy in the comments on this one. The comment section on this video should be so live. And what I mean by that is, there's people out there that watch my videos that have been homesteading way longer than me. Get into my comments. Tell me and tell everybody that reads the comments what I missed, you know, because your perspective is different than my perspective, because your goals are different than my goals. Oh, preach now. Preach. That boy. Ooh, buddy. Hey, I got an amen. I got an amen from the turkey. Oh, man. But no, seriously, though. You know, get into the comments and let's put our heads together. Let's help people. Let's make this video the video that helps people, okay? That people can come to, they can jump into these comments and they can see the do's and don'ts. Somebody out there is gonna watch this video and they're just now planning to buy a homestead. They should be able to watch this video, read these comments and say, oh, I never thought about that. Let me slow down. Let me do this the right way and not rush through the process, you know? So that's my hope. That's what I want from this video. This video to me is so special. It's so special because I am at the 4-year mark. I bought this property August 2021. And so 4 years later, I mean, this is September now, but I mean, you know, it's just a week after, 2 weeks after the 4-year mark for me here. And man, I just want to tell people, hey, this is what I learned. This is what I think you could benefit from. And hey, just get out there, you know, just get out there and do it, have fun with it, but plan it out right and do it right. Man, I'm telling you, that's special right there. I think that's special. So y'all, another thing, and this honorable mention, is get out there and talk to your other homesteaders. Go to other homesteads and see what they're doing. See, like, they'll walk you through their homestead and they'll be like, you know what? I wish I hadn't done this. If you about to start a homestead, don't do this, you know? And you know what? That's something that you take back with you and say, it didn't work for them, but maybe it might work for me. But hey, as long as you got the information, I feel that, hey, you can make the decision. If you decide to make the wrong decision, just, hey, own it, you know? I don't mind making bad decisions, because as long as I went into it with the right thought process and I thought it through and I came up to that decision, hey, if it was the wrong decision, I can own that. I can live with that. It's when somebody else makes a decision for me, that's when I got a problem with it. But that's for another video. But yeah, that's my 5, y'all. And I really hope that somebody gets something out of this video, because this video to me is special, because I'm here right now at this point in my journey that I can let people in on the, hey, watch out for this. And that's special to me. So hey, if you're new to my channel, consider subscribing to the channel. I got a lot of information like this that I'm trying to pass on to people. And you know, I had a comment the other day about the information that I was giving out and how they felt it was helpful. And I'm one of those people that I think that, you know, hey, if I have information, it's wasted on me. it's wasted unless I share it with somebody else. And, you know, that's how it used to be. You know, we kind of had this conversation in the comments, you know, and I was like, that's how it used to be, you know. The elders would teach and show the younger people how to do things and how this is done, why not to do it this way and this and that. And the elders did it because they just wanted their offspring to succeed. They wanted them to thrive. They wanted them to be productive members of a society. And to some selfishness, they knew that someday those young people would be taking care of them. So they wanted to make sure they were set up and right and able to carry on the traditions and just be productive members of society. And that part of me is old school, where I just love to, you know, dump as much information into people as I possibly can. I'm constantly researching, constantly trying to learn new stuff. And so, you know, like I said, that information is lost if I keep it all to myself. So, yeah, I hope y'all got something from this video. Like I said, this video is powerful to me, and this video is kind of the cornerstone of what I envisioned when I started YouTube, was to be able to make a video like this where, yeah, I do it with gardening, you know, because I've been there, done that with gardening, but on a homestead level, you know, this is my first true homestead. And so even though I've been around it, you know, this is the first one that I've made the decisions and that I've done the trial and error. And to be able to have all that culminate into me being able to share that with you guys is it's a milestone for me. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Don't forget, subscribe to my channel. Let's get the comments rolling on this one. And I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.